my name is Tiffany and welcome back to my channel, Peculiar Collection. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing something kind of like a journal collection, but it's going to be the evolvements and where I am now in my journal journey, if that makes any sense. Anyways, let's get started. I'm going to be talking about like some of the evolvements of my journals and where I am now and how I do journaling and stuff like that. I'm not going to show you everything in my journal, but you know, I thought this would be a really cool video to do. I've seen other people have done it before, and I do talk to like my current boyfriend right now about journaling stuff sometimes. I thought, well, maybe some other people would like to know about like how I journal, the involvement of my journals, like how I grow through my journals and the process and stuff like that. So anyways, let's get started. I do want to say all my journals are in the basement, so the light is not good. And also there are people upstairs, so you will be hearing a little bit of squeaking and I can't do anything about that. So anyways, let's just chat more into what we're here for. I do keep all of my journals in this box. It's like a moving box or whatever, and I decided to put all my journals in here. I haven't really decided anywhere else to put them. I have no other space. So I have all my journals, all my blank journals, all my used ones, all this and that in there. It is starting to get full, and I am like dying. I need to get something else. I need to figure out a new spot. It is starting to get full. I might need another box just for my journals alone. It is starting to get full. I might have to move all my blank journals into a new box because I've been liking buying blank journals recently. So yeah, I do have my current journal over here that I'll be showing you guys in the video. But anyways, let's get into this bad boy. So you guys can't see, and I cannot lift this up to show you. So let me bring you guys over. That is literally where all of my journals, all my blank journals, and some random miscellaneous journals live right now until I find a better spot for them. Let's put you guys back down. So that's where it's living right now, and it is a lot. So we're going to be going on from order, from the first ones I ever did to the last ones I did, and talk a little bit about each one. So this is the first journal I did. Well, technically, it is not the current or the real first journal. My real first journal I started when I was in elementary school. I either lost that journal, and I have thrown out another journal that was from that period of time. So I do not know where that one journal is, and the other one, I think I ripped out every page of it, didn't want to share it, didn't want to keep it. I just thought I would never want to look back at some cringy stuff. Now I wish I kept it to know what was little Tiffany thinking about and that time, and how cringy was she back then. Even though I know I'm cringy, but how cringy was she back then? This one I called a diary. I've never kept it as like, this is my journal, this is my life. This was my diary. I had this for grade 9 and grade 10. And it did have a lock on it, as you guys can see, but I took off the lock. I did not like it, did not want to use it. It was just, goodbye, no lock. I don't know why. I just felt like, why would I need a lock? I can care less to keep it very private. I will not show you what's all in here because, well, I talk a lot about boys in this one. This was like the one where I wanted to be like the Dear Diary kind of thing and have crushes in here. I was watching a lot of movies where there was diaries and I wanted to be one of them. So that's really what got me into it. I was in grade 9 when I started this one. And I did start writing, I think, not in this journal, but in one of the journals, I started writing all of these on here. So I did go back to older journals and put the dates on here too and the number. That way every time I put my journal away, I can know like which one goes where. And this one was volume 1. So I started this one. It says 2013 till 2014. So it wasn't like I wrote every day in this one. I did also write a list of songs that I liked in here. And I want it for my iPod because I was going to give this journal to my friend who was helping me put songs on my iPod. So I just wrote a list of it right there. And it's kind of funny because some of these songs, like, they're a banger. And some of these songs were old. Even for the time I was putting these in, they were kind of old. Like, Sorry for Party Rocking, Sexy and I Know It, This Is What Dreams Are Made Of, E.T. Kiss Me by Katy Perry, like just songs like that. And it was never like any Justin Bieber in here. I was definitely not gonna have Justin Bieber. I also wanted anything Harrison Hugh videos. If you guys don't know Subsibly Acquire or Tuesday Turnip Times, you did not know, I had a thing for watching like every video of him. In 2013, me was like, I'm old to be watching Finding Stuff Out, but he's on there, so I'm watching Finding Stuff Out. It was like, I don't know what it was. I was just like watching, I was like addicted to anything he was in, and I would be like, I'm watching it. I also even watched Diary of a Wimpy Kid a couple of times on that scene and say, oh, I know him, I see him, but like I never know him in person. It was just weird, like I just felt like because I watch him on YouTube, so I know him. I don't know, it was weird. I never actually finished this book, and yeah, that was basically this one. Not much of my involvement in that other than I just started it, and this felt more like a diary than it felt like a journal. But I'm calling it a journal now, even though for years this was the only journal I ever had that I was calling it a diary, and I was going to keep it that way because it had diary feelings, more about crushes and stuff. The second one I have is not actually my second journal, and you might be asking, the first one wasn't even your first journal, the second one isn't your second journal, what's going on? I had a journal that was like a sparkly cheerleader journal, but I was never once a cheerleader, and it was just too much for me. I didn't like it. The sizing obviously was the same size as this one. I also got it from Claire's. I also think I had another journal after that one too that I never wrote in it. I don't know what happened to that one. But I had two journals before this one, and one of them I didn't write in. The other one I did write in, but I hated it, so I threw it out. And it was this size. But then I went from that size to this size. This was a intimidating size. This was an A5 size, and it was intimidating for me from going from this small to this size. But this is actually the size I prefer in most of my journals now, and I love it. The A5 size is like my go-to size. These are actually very small. For most journalers that I know or I've heard of, they go for the A5 size. It's like the gold mine. Or the bigger sizes, but mostly the A5 size. This one, I am kind of sad to say, it did have a strap on it that would wrap around, but it was pulling so hard and it was so thin, I decided it had to be cut off. And now I kind of regret that because I should have let it cut off by itself. How long was it going to hold up? I was wondering. And I'm kind of sad about that. The back did get scratched because I would always keep this in front of this journal, and this one had the little latch still on it, so that latch was digging on the back of this journal, making it kind of messed up. This one, as you can tell, it is a Mickey journal. I have a thing for Mickey and Minnie, like I'm wearing a Minnie Mouse sweater and some Mickey socks that I got from the dollar store. Like I have a big section for Mickey and Minnie. I do want to show off in this YouTube channel at some point my whole Disney collections and talk about it in like different videos and stuff, because I have a lot of Disney and I love to show it off in this channel more than just journaling. I want to branch off to like Disney stuff too. Journaling and Disney right here. This one is the only journal I have actually finished from beginning to very end. I was not motivated at the very beginning. What I did in the beginning of this journal, I did have my old journal that I threw out. But before I threw it out, I rewrote everything in this journal for like, I don't know, to keep it as memories. I don't know. I don't know the process of it. I did start this when I was 15, 16, 17. The reason why I said I started this when I was 15 is I actually started the other journal, but I rewrote it in this journal. So I technically started it in this journal, but technically didn't really start it. This journal didn't really take off until 2017. So I started this November 15th, 2014 till May 20th, 2017. This one was just like one of those motivated journals, I guess. But like I said, I was doing like crafting in here. I was doing a bunch of different things in this journal. Like I have things in here. I was doing a lot in this journal. I also have like a card a friend gave me for my birthday. some pictures. Like, I was really into journaling, and I guess I was reading books too in 2017, so I have a book list here. Like, I was doing a lot in this journal. Like, this is like one of my journals, and the only journal, if I didn't already say it, that I started from very beginning till the very last page. And when I mean the very last page, I mean that very awkward last page that no one really likes, but they gotta do something about it. I finished it till the very last page. I wish I can do that again. Maybe in one of my journals, I'll do that again. But as of right now, I haven't got any journal until the very last page. I'll be like 3 pages, 2 pages left. I don't know. I just can't finish it until the very last page of the journal. This is volume 3. I was getting orders mixed up. It is another journal that is also Disney. I got this one at Hallmark, the same as the last journal that you saw. I got that at Hallmark. This one I started in 2017. I was at the end of high school. I also started college in this journal. So this one was most of my journey of college in here. My summer before college, stuff like that happened in this one. So I'm going to show you up close if you guys can see. But it does have a lot of different old style Mickey Mouse. And I think it's cute. I haven't seen this journal since in Hallmark, but this was a cute Hallmark journal. Like, I was a big fan of Mickey, and I said, okay, another Mickey journal. Yes. And this one, I started this one on May 21st, 2017. Finished this one on October 21st, 2017. And apparently I was 19 when I did this one. Starting college life. I went to see movies. I started doing cover pages for each month in this one. And I did start putting like movie tickets, stuff like that in this one. Some other things in here. There's a lot of stuff in here that I would not show. If there is a flip through of this, then that means I showed you. But if there is not, then that means this was just more private life. I did end up getting into a relationship with someone, like real relationship. Like, I had relationships in the past, but this was like my real relationship. And I was talking about my relationship, things that happened in my life. I went to like Niagara Falls and I was documenting that. I had lost my grandma while in this one, or my Nana, I call her. So this was on my mom's side. I've talked about that. And there's like just some random stuff in here that like, this was like, I was motivated into journaling. And I was doing that. And it was fun. So I was like, just like that. I would never really like, I don't know. It's more like I was just writing about my day and like what happened during that day. Like, I went to a funeral, or not funeral, but it was celebration of life, and I just wrote about it. I never really wrote like my deepest feelings in any of my journals prior to this one. And this one, I still haven't wrote like feeling. Like, it was just where I grew up to like start loving journaling. And then I got this one as another way of loving journaling. I never did finish this one till the end, but I left like 1 page. So technically I almost finished this till the end. I left 1 page blank. Out of all the pages, I'm actually surprised, and I didn't actually know that I left 1 page blank in this one. I literally thought I left a couple pages blank. I guess I only left 1 page blank, so I could say this was kind of almost a success of almost filling this up. This one I got at the dollar store, and there was a lot that happened in this journal. I kind of didn't like this journal. I didn't know what I was going to do with these pages when it came around to it, but I never got around to it. So I did kind of stop journaling after this. I got my relationship just crashed in this one. So this one was 2017 volume 4. So I started this one October 22nd, 2017. Finished it January 12, 2018. I was still 19 in this one. I kind of gave up on like journaling after this. Like, not fully, but I wasn't as motivated to journal. I was dealing with a lot of stuff. So with this one, I was just going through all my feelings. I was not dealing with things, but I did make some of the pages kind of like sparkly and pretty. I tried to be very like into it. It was kind of a smaller like journal for me. and things like that. It was just like a lot going on. I never actually finished this journal. And I don't think I'll ever pick this one back up again because I have some like memories in this that I just don't think I want to get another journal look similar to it. It was one of those journals that we're just going to move on from. Then we got to 2018. And that was not a good time for me. So a lot of my journals after that were not the very motivated or very looking pretty journals. Like this one says the journey is the destination. And I got this one at Indigo. So this is an Indigo paper brand. You guys can tell. I don't know. I could have used this for traveling or something. I don't travel. This one, like, I just noticed now from having it for so long, the spine is now breaking. That has never happened. And, like, I started writing, like, started putting, like, stickers in here. Like, I started becoming, like, collaging, but at the same time, I didn't collage. I was just doing whatever I can in this journal. I started this one on my birthday. So this was February 1st, 2018 till May 31st, 2018. And I was 20. So this was like my college years. I had a new relationship this time. And I'm not going to say much about it, but it was not really one I should have been in. But I've been in it. And so people who knew that time period, they probably know which relationship we're talking about and stuff like that. I did like try to go to church and try to do stuff like that in this journal. I just started drawing and doodling. Like I was not motivated at all in this journal. I did do some drawings in here. Like I thought I'll just draw randomly in this one. As you can see. And I do like the drawings in here. And I still keep the journals even though I don't like them. It's like I can look back on these and be like, yep, that was a time period. Like this one wasn't even the worst journal I can say. It was the start of being a worse journal, I guess. I guess that's just what I mean. It wasn't really that bad actually. It's just I wasn't motivated because I was in a breakup. Then I got into another relationship right after. Don't think I should have. And then I just like wasn't really into journaling because I was busy like working on myself, trying to be me. Not really. I don't know what I was trying to be actually. Once I finished that journal, which was just like, I started becoming a slump, I did go to volume 6 and I picked out this journal again from Hallmark. I've been getting all the Disney ones from Hallmark. And this one had a pen loop. This one, let's just say, I did not journal much in this. I kind of gave up and like went to like a lot of blank pages in this one. And even when I did journal, there was a lot of messy pages that did not feel like I was actually journaling at all. Like I would leave a bunch of pages blank with just a date, like I was going to journal. I was just really like starting to not journal. Like I don't know why, but it just wasn't my period. 2018 was just one of those days where I was just so focused on my relationship, working on that, and I didn't, even though I had a lot of feelings, I just never put them down in journaling. Maybe because I didn't want them reading it. Maybe there's just something. I just never was a journaler. I wasn't into it. It wasn't my thing. I started this one on June 1st, 2018 and finished it September 19th, 2018. But let's just say I didn't actually finish it completely because I kind of like gave up on most of the pages in here. And so some of them I just called it a day and say that was a page. Would I ever get this journal again from Hallmark? Yes. And hopefully I can make it way prettier and way better than I did. This one I love. It's just, I haven't seen this journal in Hallmark again. I will literally get the exact same journal just to make this better in the future. Like I love this journal enough that I will get it again. I just hate this journal period because of how I wrote in it. Like I can't show you most pages. And even if I did show you them, there's like rarely any pages that have been written in, and when they were written in, they weren't the best of pages. So not something I want to show on the internet. I don't think I did a flip through of it because there's not really much to do a flip through. So I kind of gave up that journal because I was hating how the journal was turning out. So I ended up going for this journal. I have seen a lot of people after I got this journal on the internet, and I'm so excited they got this journal. But with me, I still wasn't in my motivated stage. I still was all over the place. But I did write more in this journal than I wrote in the previous journal. So that is like a plus. This one is journal number 7. And I started this. Did I even write about that? I started this one October 1st, 2018 to finish this December 23rd, 2018. So I guess 2 days before Christmas. And I was still 20 years old in this journal, so there's a lot of 20s journals. And yeah, I started doing cover pages for these ones. I did not have a lot of printer ink to print things off, but when I did, I did. Like, I still had pages where I was like writing like just nothing. I was busy with college and trying to deal with a relationship. And also I just wrote really small, so it was hard for me to really like fill up the pages. My current boyfriend tells me I always write small. This is smaller than most writing I write now. So he's saying I write small. This is smaller. Like, I don't know why I was writing that small in this journal. I have no, even like my drawings. My drawings in here were really tiny. I don't know what it was about it. I was writing that small, and I did not keep up with like this journal. Like, a lot of journal, I read like 2 sentences and called it a day. Like, it was like just a lot. There are some stuff in here I did like writing, but most of it in here just felt like I was just writing the date and just moving on to the next page. This one I did a cutout of everything I saw on the newspaper about like our like horoscope stuff, and I thought to just put it in here because I believe in horoscopes, if anybody didn't know that. And so I like reading about horoscopes and stuff, and I just put that in there. And some like sticking some stuff. I try to be motivated. I try to like be nice and like go through this journal and make it really special. But I've left a lot of pages blank. So when I actually said I finished it on the 23rd, I actually... So my camera did die on me, and I'm very sorry for that. So we're going to be continuing off where we left off, which we did do the purple journal, which was number 7. So we're going to be moving on to number 8. And I did 8 was kind of like not as motivating. The ex I had at the time, he did give me this journal, and it's from a dollar store, but he knows me, and a lot of people know I don't care for the best quality at the time. I was into like dollar store journals. I was using them. This one did have, if you guys ever seen this journal, it had gold right here, but all the gold was falling off on the lettering. So I started rubbing it off on my own. So it just looks like this. And I think it looks very pretty. So this one, like, I think I started this one on January 17th, 2019 to April 17th, 2019. So I guess I did both in April. I was 20 and I turned 21 in this journal, so I had a birthday. And I didn't really do this one a lot. So this one was volume 8. And it was the start of my 2019 life. Like I said, I was not so motivated in this one. I was all over the place again because I was in that relationship. And there was other stuff about it more than just a relationship. Actually, that's a lie. I think I did write more in this one than I write in the last journal I showed you. And I have the last card ever my grandma on my dad's side gave me, because she did pass away, not in this journal, but she has passed away in a journal after this one. And so my last card I ever got her, Bittersweet, is in this journal. See, that is just very sweet. I was going to write about it, but I guess I never did. Like, I do still left, like, some pages blank, but I was, like, writing, and when I wasn't writing, I left pages blank. I did try to be very creative in journaling, and I was not that creative at all in this journal. This journal is just, like, there was a lot of mostly blank pages, and maybe some motivated pages, but most of it was not really motivated. This was not the journal year, but 2019 was the year I really did journal, because there was a lot going on, and I really, really, really hammered in journaling in 2019 because I don't know, it was just one of those years. I felt very motivated, I felt really good. So when it came to journal volume 9, this bad boy, which is also from the dollar store, it's a mermaid tail one. This is a studio journal, if you're wondering. I love a lot of their studio dollar store journals, which the brand is called Studio. I'm in love with large journals. This one I was very motivated in, but I wasn't motivated at the beginning of 2019. It was near the end, I think. I don't know. I started this one on Canada Day. So July 1st, 2019 till October 31st, 2019. This one is where my grandma on my dad's side passed away. So in the other journals, earlier in this video, I had a Nana pass away in that journal. And then this one had a grandma pass away. I wrote about that. I wasn't so motivated. I was dealing with my relationship at the time and I wasn't ready. But by the time, I think around, let's see, when? It was probably, we got August, we're in August here. It was probably more closer to like, I think September maybe. I could be wrong. But this is also, like, I'll show you really quickly. I don't want you reading too much. But this is where I ended up starting putting calendars in my journal, and I actually started loving having a calendar. So ever since then, I've been putting calendars in all my journals after that. I actually really like using them. So I guess September was when I was daily journaling almost every day. This is when I first ever like really daily journaled. Most of my other journals I was trying to daily journal, but I do it here and there. This one was like when I really picked up daily journaling. And it wasn't until September that I really started picking up daily journaling. I did go to a wedding. My cousin's wedding happened in this one. I did a lot of writing in this one. There's just a lot that happened. I was very daily journaling. I had a leaf in this one. Another quick calendar in this one. There's a lot of stuff that did happen, and I did have a lot to write about it. I always wrote about, in this journal, was always about for someone. I was writing as if I was writing someone else's story. Then I would be like writing about my feelings, my story. Like I'll write about how I felt about someone else's life, and that made sense. I don't know. I've never really wrote like what I felt. It's more like I'm just really pissed off. End of the story. I've never really dived more deep into it because I was afraid, what if someone really reads this book? Even though I would not show this on the internet or to certain people, but there's people in my life. I know no one in my life would look in my journals, but I don't know. I just had that fear of hearing stories of people having certain people reading in it, and I was like, I gotta write it as if someone's gonna read it. So I'd always not write my darkest secrets in the journals, and they were always like that. And then by the time like closer to October is when like I started really becoming like into this journal. I don't know if I did. Nope, I did not write this one till the very end, but I was very happy with how this journal turned out. I do have a page in here, if I could find it, that does have a wrapper, and I do love, this is where I started really getting back into writing quotes, and I was being more like writing in them, making them beautiful, like just all around. I was very motivated. Like this felt like a journal. Like I haven't journaled like this in such a long time. And I started writing like that again. I was just so happy. I was getting back into journaling again. After like the 2018 journaling slump that was off and on journaling or trying to force myself to journal, I didn't. 2019 is when journaling really kicked back off for me. And I started coming in love with journaling again for the purpose. So I put this one back. Then I got a Moleskine. I did have a Moleskine after this. We will talk about that I wasn't motivated. But this Moleskine, because it was 2019 and it was one of those years, this one started COVID in this one. This was 2019, 2020. I started on my COVID year in this one. This was journal number 10. This one was really like I started this one in November, but it's really hard to read. This one says, do you believe in fairies? Peter Pan. I was a big fan of like Peter Pan, not the cartoon, but the live action one before the cartoon. Or was the cartoon before that? I don't know, but there was a live action one, not the new one, but there was a live action one that happened like a long time ago, like the first ever live action one, and I was a big fan of that movie, so I kept watching it, and by that time I saw this journal, I think on Amazon or just online, and I ordered this off of Amazon, and I really liked it. I didn't really like the paper quality and stuff. It was too flimsy. But for me, I used it. I wrote a lot in here. My calendars end up being on the side, very ugly. I wrote a lot in this one. I was very motivated in this one. Even though bad things had happened, good things had happened, I was writing. And by the time COVID happened, I did write like some stuff about COVID and how we're all stuck inside. It could be because I was stuck inside that it made me just want to keep writing in my journals. And I was talking to my friends on video chat, and I'll be writing while I'm talking to them. I was so motivated in this journal to just keep writing, keep documenting. My dad said I should document about COVID just because it is a period in our time, like, oh my gosh. We've been through that for a long time, and going back and finding out that we went through that period, I'm kind of glad he did tell me because I did write about it somewhere in here. After that one, I did get another journal, and it was not a motivated journal. And this was volume number 11. I got this one from, what is it? Marshall's? No, Michael's Craft Store. And it says, leave your fears behind. I think my ex at the time got me this one. I can't remember. And it says, leave your fears behind. I do like this journal and wish I could make this journal good. But for some reason, something about these journals from Michael's, I just don't find it motivating. I don't know if it's because of how the paper is to me. But every time I pick this book up, I think it could also be the size of the journal, and it's like more wider than like skinnier. But I have used some other journals by Michael's and I really like. But every time I use these journals, even though they're so beautiful, I can never get motivated to really work in them. So I did kind of stop after a while of buying these kind, because even if I'm very a motivated girl, when it comes to these ones, they're never the ones that I seem to draw for. I did try to write in this one, try to draw in this one, try to do everything in this one, and for some reason I can never. One day I might get one of these journals again because I'm so sad about this journal, and maybe I'll try to do it again. I'm looking right now and there's a journal I know I have, but it doesn't look like oh yeah, I did write in that. But yeah, so this one was just not a motivated one, and there's not much to talk about other than I wrote some stuff in here. I wrote this one in May 2020, and I don't know when I finished this one. Let's see, because I never wrote about it. I don't know when I finished this one. This one also had a YouTuber passed away in this one. Because there's a couple of YouTubers that have passed away in other journals. And this one had a YouTuber pass away in this one. So I guess, but it was not my motivated journal. These journals I've always picked up and I never seem to be motivated. But every time I look at them, like, oh, that would be so pretty to use. I want to use it. I keep reminding myself why I don't use these. Because I don't, for some reason, have the motivation to write in them. This one I got for a Christmas present from my ex, and I know I asked for it, not to give it to me for Christmas, but I did tell him it was one of the journals I wanted. And this was an Olaf journal that I saw at the GameStop. Surprisingly, I saw this one in GameStop, and I thought it was really pretty. I'm not a big Frozen fan, but I love Olaf. If I had to be a Frozen fan, Olaf was my guy. He was my character, and this was like a really good journal. And I actually liked this journal because it was winter, and then it had like some fall leaves in it. So it was good for the period that I picked it up. I got it for Christmas, but I didn't use it right away. I used it maybe a couple months after I got that one. And this one, I was motivated. I did write a lot in this one. I never finished it from the very end, but I did write a lot in this one. I started this one on October 7th, 2020 till January 31st, 2021. So I started by year of 2021. In this one, I was motivated. I still did my calendars this way. I don't know why. They were just, I don't know. I did a lot of collaging in here and stickers and some stuff in here. Some of my friends were having kids and there was like different things in my life. Like I did put like what I got for Christmas in here. The little like tag from one of my Christmas gifts. So we did have fall, which is like November. And then in October in here. So it's kind of like fall and winter vibes in here. So this journal is so perfect for that. Because as you can see, it is winter on the front. We got some fall on the inside. So I like that. And then here's some blank pages to show you. It's kind of like a winter fall vibe, which really worked because I did winter and fall in this journal. And I just really like this journal. Would I ever get this journal again? Probably not the same one, but maybe in a similar style. Like, I do really like this one actually. I'm surprised about this one. I was motivated to do colorful things in this one. I don't know. I was just doing a lot of different things. But I was still writing about my day-to-day life. Now we get on to this journal that I got from Michaels. And I did say I wasn't motivated in most of my Michaels journals, but I was motivated in this one. It's really hard to get all these journals in and out, but anyways. This is the one I was motivated in. It was not my best journal, if I'm being honest, because I wrote really, really small. This is my first dotted journal I've ever gotten. So I gotten a dotted journal from Michaels. I do actually like their dotted journals from Michaels for some reason. Their sizing I don't like, but then when it's a dotted journal, I'm okay with it. This one I wrote really, really small. I don't understand why I did that, but I did. Also, my mom did go to hospital in this one, and we had like a scare or whatever. But I wrote a lot about that and waiting for her to come home from the hospital and stuff like that. So it was kind of like a period of my time where I was alone. I was at home by myself, waiting for her to come home. This happened. So this was on 2021. This is volume 13. So that part of my life, I was going through it. So I started this one on my birthday. So this was February 1st, 2021. Finished it March 22nd, 2021. And I was motivated, but I didn't actually finish the whole journal. I left this much of it blank. I've never gone around to finishing till the very end of my journal since that second journal I've ever done. And I don't know why, but I wrote really, really small. I'm going to see if I can find a page that I can show you. I guess this one. But I write so small in this journal. I don't understand why I did that. And it was kind of, I don't know. I did do some calendars in this one. I started really putting in the calendars because they had dotted lines. It was easier to make the calendars work. And I added like some pictures of people in here and some stuff and friendships I was talking to. Like, I was really motivated to decorate this journal and everything about it. Just, you know, it was a good and a bad journal all in one. It was different things happening. It was just a journal about my time period. It was nothing really good about it, but I was motivated. I know I'm going to say motivated to a lot of journals because 2019 above, I was just hammering on these motivations. Then we got to a non-motivating journal. As I said, I was about to say all motivated, and I'm really sad about that because I wanted this journal for years. And I finally got it, and it wasn't for me. Again, it's one of the similar journals that are similar to this one that I don't, for some reason, become motivated in. This one says shine like a star. I didn't really finish this one. Let's see how far I even got to this one. I've left a lot of blank pages. Nothing more I can say about it other than I try to be creative with some star stickers to go with the star theme. And that was it. I said I started it April 1st, 2021 and never wrote when I finished it. I just call this a done for journal. Nothing more I could say. Was not motivated in this one at all. Then we move on, and we're moving on to this one. I got this one at the dollar store. I don't know if I was really motivated, if I really liked it, but I worked in it. I started this one on July 1st, 2021 to August 31, 2021. This one I did finally break up with that ex that I was dating for 3 years, and we moved on, or at least I moved on. And I spent like the first day of my breakup spending it at my dad's and having a good Canada Day, and like actually doing collages in here and making this like a real journal / scrapbook. I miss doing this stuff, but I'll tell you why I don't do it soon. So like I did add some stuff. There were some days where I wasn't motivated, but girl, I wrote and I felt really like, you know, my life isn't as good. It's still blah. Got broken up. I'm now like in my single era, but still stuck in the house, still just playing video games, wanting to go out, but you know, we were just getting over COVID, and then we got back into the lockdown again, and then we're getting back out. So it's like back and forth of like we're just getting out of it now, and then we get put back in. Then we're still talking about it. Like we're just starting to kind of get out of it, but not really get out of it. That makes sense, because we're back and forth on this like COVID situation. So, and there was a time where I was talking about like even though we were broken up, he still tried to be my friend. So I was kind of letting him be friends. It was not really what I should have done, but it's whatever. A lot of things happen in this journal as well, but you know, lots that I can't really say about either. This one, after 2 months of being broken up, I have started talking to someone in this journal. Weirdly enough, we started talking on like Rec Room because I was too afraid to video chat the person, if that made sense. I was really shy still. I was like in my shy era, but also like I'll speak my truth. Because of a 3-year relationship, I spoke the truth, but still was really shy. This one I got at Michael's. This is a Paper Chase journal. It's a dotted journal, and I was really liking this one. I didn't finish it till the very end because I started getting sloppy as I started talking to the guy, and was so into talking to the guy that I just didn't really catch up to like journaling. But I did do a lot of journaling in here that I can really say it was a journal. I started this one on September 1st, 2021, and I finished it on October 23rd, 2021. And I have About Me page, because I started doing About Me pages. I didn't tell you guys, sorry, but I did start doing About Me pages in a couple of my journals. So this one, it says I was 23 years old when I started this journal. So I started talking to a guy. That was amazing, I guess. This journal is when I started dating the guy. And this just says make your own magic. I started this one on November 1st, 2021 and finished it December 2nd, 2021. It was not my motivative journal. This is journal number 17. And as you see, it says 2021-17. I was not too motivated in this one because the paper quality in this journal was more like harder, more rougher, and it just felt more like I was using a sketchbook and not a journal, and I just hated it. There's a lot of pictures of my ex, so I'm not going to show you due to some legal reasons and some other stuff. Actually, I wouldn't say legal reasons, but just for my personal reasons, I don't want to put them out there. You know, there's like pictures of him. There was like stuff. This is where I think a second time in my life someone took my journal and wrote in it, and he would write like, instead of like us arguing with each other, we argued in a journal. So I don't know why, but we never really talked it out. We wrote it in here, and then we would read it to each other. I'm like, yeah. I don't know more to say about this one other than I was in a relationship. So after that journal, we move on to this bad boy, and this is actually my very favorite journal that I have so far, and it's not for the purpose of what you guys might think. This is the one where I ended up having a breakup in my journal, and you might be saying, why is this your favorite? Like, did you really hate the guy or something? No, the reason why this one is my favorite is because I had self-growth, self-learning. I discovered myself. I found the person I am today because of this journal. That breakup that I was in really motivated me to become the person I wanted to be for myself, to be who I am now. And I really did use this journal like a therapist. It was really therapeutic, very motivating, very a lot for me. So this is mostly a lot of writing I don't want to show on the internet. But this one was just something. It was like a new chapter in my life, the new me, the me that everybody knows now and loves. I was not anybody else in that journal beforehand. I was not that girl, and that girl was long gone. I became somebody new that I was proud of and happy to be. And this journal ended up being my very favorite journal. This journal, my ex got me out of the blue. I just told him I liked this journal when we were in chapters one day. This is a look term dotted journal. I've told him I've been wanting to get one of these for a while, and he grabbed it right then and there without my permission, without asking me, do you want me to get it for you? He just took it, bought it, and said, this is yours now. And I thought I was going to be writing about him in here, as of love, as of us being together, but it ended up not being that way. So when I did design this cover, I designed it in the idea that we're going to still be together. We only lasted a month in dating before the breakup, which really did help me. And this cover does say, great things are going to happen. I thought it was going to be great things with a relationship, but instead, this was great things of discovering myself. I ended up becoming the person I am today because the breakup and how I took it to heart in ways that I did not think I'd take it to heart. I didn't take it to heart oh, I'm so sad. I wish you'll come back to me. I took it yes, I'm very sad, and it's okay to be sad. It's okay to have those feelings, but I took it as a learning, a growth, a time period for me to be where I want to be and to be where I want to be happy and find myself and learn to be alone and be okay with being alone in my thoughts and be alone without having friends around all the time and do things for me. And this journal really did motivate me and really did put the respect of who I am now. And that's why this one is my favorite. Not only is the book just the best book, and I want to get another look term book soon, this one was just chef's kiss of who I am now. It's really the reason why I think we should all journal, find ourselves, discover ourselves, be who we are. This journal is just a bunch of writing I'm not going to show on the internet, but I did put some little bit of Star Wars stuff in here. It wasn't a lot of cut and paste in this journal because I was self-discovering myself, and I was just writing about my breakup and how I took that to heart in ways that turned me into someone I am now. The way I speak to my current boyfriend now, the way that I have communication, to be patient with myself, to not hate on myself anymore, to love myself for who I am. This journal was that. This journal was that thing that helped me. And I'm so happy that that breakup did happen for me to find who I am. It's kind of sad. Nobody wants to be broken up by someone. No one wants to go through that. But for me, going through that actually changed me for someone I am today. And I'm very proud. And this journal was looking back on it and how proud I've come so far, and to literally took something bad into something positive because of this journal was just chef's kiss. And that's why this one is probably my favorite journal of all times, because of this self-growth and everything that I can talk for hours about this journal, but that'll be a long video. I did get into another journal, but let's be honest, the self-growth era was kind of like there, but not as really there. This was me. Now I self-growth and found who I am. Now this is where, okay, the depression did come in a little bit, and I'm starting to like dwell a little bit on it, and I wanted to now take what I learned about myself and push it forward even more to happiness. It's where I was starting to make videos and starting to do things like on TikTok and stuff. Like, I'm happier. Even though there were sad days, I was happier. And this was a journal that like kind of did that, but I never got the same feelings as that blue journal before, which was still Chef's Kiss. So anything after that was just like, I've already went to my discovery period. Now this was known. This was journal number 19. I started this one on February 1st, 2022, and I finished it March 21st, 2022. Sorry, we got people upstairs and family up there, so I am very sorry and I apologize right now. This one, I try to be like really motivated, try to be very decorative in this journal, and some other stuff in here, but it never really like satisfied me in the way the last journal satisfied me, the way I self-growed in that one. This one was like, okay, I've discovered myself, I have self-growth, now what do I take with the knowledge that I've gotten now? This one, I never fully finished in it, but I did try to do some really pretty pages and really pretty calendars in this one, so. And I did try to do a little bit of exercise just because we're still stuck in COVID. This was 2022. So since we were still stuck in COVID, I was trying to do exercise to get my body moving as we're not going around outside. So I was doing that in this journal. Then we move on to another journal. I got this one. So the last journal I just said, I got that one at Michael's Craft Store. And this one I got on Amazon. This is like a bullet journal. And I did try to add some bullet journal stuff in here, but I didn't do a full-on bullet journal. It was like a mix of a bullet journal and a journal still in here. And I love this book here. It's so pretty, but I don't think I'll buy it again because it's more for bullet journaling. And I just feel like I like more journals that are like cheaper to buy just for my journaling. I don't want to spend too expensive if I'm already going to fill it up within 2 or 3 months and I have to go on to another journal. This one I started April 1st, 2022 and ended it May 27th, 2022. And like every journal, I have had my about me pages. So this one I was 24 in. So I got broken up when I was 23 and I'm now 24 in this journal. And I done some really decorative like cover pages for this one, for April's cover pages. I try to do like cover pages and do one journaling quote for each cover page. This one says April showers bring May flowers. I'm supposed to say spring brings flowers. Say bring May flowers. I don't know. I just realized that now that that's what it says. Oopsies. A mistake. And then this is my calendar for it. I did like an Eastery vibe going on here. I did also have a driving instructor in this one, so I did talk about that one. I don't know. This journal I never kept up with. I was kind of motivated, kind of not. I did do a lot of hiking in here, and I wrote down like so many different hiking places I've gone. I was trying to go to like a lot of hiking places, and I made some new friends in this book. So I have a couple of friends where I was going hiking with. And I did do a music playlist. If you want to pause and read all that music, you can. So I was doing like playlists of music and some other stuff. I went hiking. No, I went on a bike ride with my dad in this journal. We did a lot of stuff in this journal that's like nice. Now was this one. I don't think I'll ever buy this again. It's really pretty, really good, but it's more for bullet journaling and I do more journaling. So I might not pick this up again. This is a dotted journal and it's really pretty, but just the paper's too thick for my liking. We got volume 21st. So this is 2020, volume 21st. And this one I got at, where did I get this one again? At EB Games. and it is a Lego Star Wars. People don't know me. I like Star Wars. I'm not wearing any Star Wars right now, but I have some Star Wars clothes. I like Star Wars, and I like watching. My favorite thing about Star Wars, I know this is off topic, but my boyfriend has a Star Wars lightsaber, and I'll take that damn Star Wars lightsaber and start swinging around like I'm a kid in a candy store and like woo 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 woo. Like something about the, I don't know. I just really like Star Wars, and every time I see a Star Wars lightsaber, I'm like, I'm gonna whip it around and start doing some Star Wars tricks, which I can't show you right now, but I do know a couple of Star Wars lightsaber tricks. It's kind of surprising, I know, but I don't do them because I don't want to break something in his house. But this one says, join the dark side. I'm more of a light side girl. I'm not the dark side. I don't even like being in the dark. And I'm not really a dark person. I'm more of a light, happy, let's be positive kind of person. As of now, that's me. But in the past, I might have said I was a dark person. But I am now the light. I'm now like Princess Leia in the light. Which I did dress up as Princess Leia for Comic-Con. So yeah. And I was the only one in Comic-Con who used her real hair for buttons instead of buying Princess Leia buns. Found that out. This one is just like, I like it, but the time period I was writing it, I guess I wasn't into it. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't for me at the time. I was starting to like dotted journals, so when I came to a line journal again, it just didn't motivate me. The paper quality is like so thin. It's not even funny, and like, I don't know. Something about this just didn't fully motivate me. I guess maybe I was too busy binge watching The Mandalorian at this time. So I was like more watching, less writing. But when I do write, I wrote lots. And I did try to add some other things in here. I don't know what was going on with this. My Star Wars journal, my baby. This is where sometimes people see this journal like, you like Star Wars? Duh. Some people think I don't. This one I got from the dollar store. And it's not one of my favorite journals at all. I will never pick this up and work on it again. I do have a blank journal of this I might use. And if I actually somehow become really motivated in it, then maybe. But I really don't see myself wanting to pick this up and doing it. It's like kind of awkward, like bigger, but also smaller. I don't know what size this really is. I just don't like this one. And then I also added stickers, so like here, and then like I added stickers in here, so I don't know if you guys can see, but I did add those stickers in there. This one I never really finished writing in it because of how weird I just felt like it was. And at the time, I guess I wasn't super motivated. Yeah, so I think I wasn't very motivated. This one is journal 22. I started this one on September 1st, 2022. I never wrote when I ended this. I was still 24 in this journal. So when did I actually end this journal? I ended this journal on December 31st, 2022. So I seem to always write about New Year's in almost all my journals. Like this one I did do writing, but it just felt like it was forever. Like the writing was taking forever to write. I don't know if it's because it's long or whatever, but for some reason during this time, it was not really my motivation to write. I feel like I could get motivated to write in this journal. Like I have wrote like a lot in this page, but I feel like I could, if I wanted to, get back into this. And the way I'm journaling now, which I will talk about that, I really do see myself could work in this, but I will never buy this again until I know 100% I'm definitely going to be motivated. So now we go on to this journal that I got from the dollar store. This is volume 23. I started this one 2023. This one says, don't judge me. I was born to be awesome, not perfect. And what happened is the words on this journal was starting to kind of come off. So I wanted to salvage the words on this journal before it got worse. So I taped up the journal. Sometimes I do really good taping on my journal covers, and sometimes I do horrible. So sometimes I just leave them. This one, I think I did really good on taping the journal as good as I can. And I like the cover because I was like, don't judge me. I was born to be awesome, not perfect. Like, no one is perfect, and I like that cover. This one is a studio journal. I got a lot of studio journals from the dollar store, and they're like one of my favorites to use, even though paper quality is not the best, but it's good for enough for me. Like, it is when I say not the best, it does shadow a lot of your drawings and your writing. So if you don't like shadowing, this is not for you. But if you don't care for a little bit of shadowing, then yeah, this is really nice. I started this one on January 1st, 2023, and I finished it April 30th, 2023. This one was like a very motivated. I started like New Year's in this one. I didn't even write about my music list. I think I kind of gave up. Like, music list wasn't for me. At first, I was going through a lot of leg pain, and I thought maybe it was poor circulation. Years and years and years and years and years later, 2025, I finally found out what the leg pain was about, and it was literally because I was low on vitamin B12. Finding out, 2023, I thought it was poor circulation. And yes, I have gone to a doctor's like too many times for the same issue that they couldn't find the answer. Do I have leg pain now? Not as bad as I did back then. Now that I'm taking medicine. This is also when I saw Avatar 2. I wasn't like a big fan of Avatar, the first one. But I did like Grace in Avatar. So she was my girl. And she's also in the second one, but plays as her daughter. So anyways, I didn't like Avatar that much. My ex that we broke up with was a big fan of Avatar. You know, I decided, okay, this movie's looking really good. The trailer looks nice. I want to see it. I fell in love with the movie to the point I can't wait to watch the third movie. I'm like addicted. I have a sweater of that. I have pants of Avatar. I want to get more Avatar things. Like, I fell in love with the movie when I watched it. So, and I started writing about the movie in this one. I was so excited. This is the first movie me and my mom saw together in such a long time, because I don't go to the movies often. I'm not a movie girl. It's not my thing. But when I do go to movies, it's because I really want to. And I went with my mom. She's not a big Avatar fan, but she went before me and she wanted to get out of the house. So we both went together and we actually had a good time. She said she didn't mind the movie. I loved the movie. Like, you know, not for everyone. Also, too, my dog did pass away. And I decided to write a poem for my dog in here. But she did pass away. I don't know if she passed away in this journal or if she passed away in the other journal. I'm pretty sure it was this journal because she passed away in March. So for that, I think that's when I wrote it for her, because she passed away, and that was my way of saying and giving back to her. Yeah, she did pass away in this journal. I did do some motivating stuff. I was just all over the place in this journal. I didn't know my journaling style, what I mean. So I had like different styles of, like, every journal was a different style of how I journaled. You know, I was never sticking to one style. Like, one year I'll be this style, the next year I was that style. Like, I couldn't stick to just one style of journaling because I come up with so many ideas. I watch so many videos on YouTube that give me so many great ideas, and I keep adding different ideas until I find out what's for me. And this journal was just like that. Also, anybody know the song? Peaches, 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 peaches. Yeah, I'm not going to go on it. But apparently that was the thing, and I had to write it in here because I wanted to keep up with trends. And like, oh yeah, I remember when that was the biggest song of the year, or if that was this. Like, I wanted to look back. Like, I remember when people wouldn't shut up about that song. And like, stuff like that. So I just like put in some little snippets of stuff in there. What else did I do? I didn't really keep up with this journal because, like, nope. This is journal number 24. And this is when I made a friend in this journal who I think became my boyfriend. I don't know if this journal is when he became my current boyfriend I have now, but this is when we first like met. We met in 2023, and I wrote about it in here. So I started this one on May 1st, 2023. I don't know when I finished it because I forgot to write, but I did do a sticker page, I guess you can call it. I did put a lot of pictures, a lot of stuff in here. I guess he'll be okay with me showing his pictures on the internet because we do TikToks together. So let me show you. So like, I did first meet him. This is not the first day we met. This was the second hike. I don't know where's the first one, but I don't know. But I did watch Avatar People, and I was being very creative. I really want to do journaling like this again because look how pretty that is. I like that. So I don't know where the page is that we first met. When it's somewhere in here. I don't know. I think I lost it. But this is another page. The first one of us together. The first picture we ever took together is this one. And then that's me. So it's our second hike we ever went together. We had so much fun hiking. Like we bonded over hiking, and we still to this day love hiking. And it was something that we just bonded over. Like it was very like we needed the hikes. We're both like still dealing with breakups in different ways. And going on a hike really like motivated like our brains to kind of slow down and like clean all of the thoughts that we had. So this is actually the first page that we actually went hiking on. And I'm so glad that I did document this. But when I say but, it's like I stopped really motivating and journaling after this. This is when like, yeah, I became not so motivated again because I was so happy about this like person. I didn't fall in love with him in this journal. Like I just thought I got a great friend. I'm happy, and I was so happy to have a friend in my life that felt like a really great friend. I had other friends, but they'll be so busy they wouldn't do things, and when they do, it just like we didn't connect in ways that he and me and him connected. So this journal was so like the time period of like me connecting with somebody as a friend. I gotta say that because you wonder why. Yep, in this journal, we were still friends. I think, yeah, we started dating in this journal for sure. And we were just friends. We went as friends to something. So I started this one on August 1st, 2023. This is journal number 25. I was 25 years old when I started this journal. I was not motivated in this journal. Let's be honest, this journal was like, but I did put a picture of us on our first Thanksgiving together. This one is another Moleskine journal, but it is not one that I fell in love with. I got this one at Michael's, so I didn't spend a lot of money on it, and I was happy because I was really motivated into yellow. For some reason, I wanted yellow in my life, and then bam, a yellow Moleskine. Like I could see myself maybe working in a Moleskine again in the future, but it's just the paper quality I don't like. I don't like how like slippery the paper is. I don't like that. I like it when it feels like journaling paper, but not slippery. I love Look Term journals because their paper is like, yeah, it's thin or whatever. You can also get thicker paper, which is what I want to get next. But this one was just too like oily. That's what I'm explaining. Oily paper. And I don't like the oily paper or the weird sizing of this journal. Maybe one day I'll get back into these journals when I'm really, really motivated for one. But as of right now, nah. So my phone did die again, and I had to charge it. And now here I am. We're going to go on to the rest of the video, which is going to be a little bit faster since there's not like a lot of journals. And I'm not going to go on each individual journal as most of them are very similar periods and times. So we're going to start off probably with like a big chunk of these journals and talk about each one. So after that yellow journal, we did go through about 4 journals of me dating this guy. I'm still currently dating the guy, so it's not like any breakup. We've been together for like 2+ years. And in these journals, there's more to it than just like, oh, they're journals. I had a very bad journaling slump happening. So I've only worked within the period of time in 4 journals. There's not much I would like to talk about these journals, as there wasn't much writing in them. I wasn't motivated. I was starting to become like, do I love journaling? Do I want to be a journaler again? I was hating journaling. And why did I started to stop journaling as much? Because I started getting into scrapbooking, and I was scrapbooking all of my pictures, putting all of my time and effort into scrapbooking. So when I started getting into these bad boys, I was not as motivated to keep up with that and scrapbooking. I was making my boyfriend at the time a 1-year scrapbook for him, and I just kind of fell out of love for journaling. And to this day, I still scrapbook, but I found love for both scrapbooking and journaling, and I made it work. But at the time, I could not make it work. It was like my new favorite hobby, and I've never been into it. And I do scrapbooking kind of in my journals, so like I didn't know my style of journaling or how was I gonna like relate both of them. So I ended up kind of stopping journaling after like the 4th journal. So this one, we're gonna go on dates, basically like years, so you know how long these took. So this one was journal number 26. This one was 2023 and 2024. Not a lot going on there. I think this is where I was like slowly starting getting into journaling. And then we got into this one. Oh, it was horrible. I was like in the middle of moving too and stuff. So this one was just nope. I got this one at Michael's Craft Store, and also I got this one at Michael's Craft Store. I like this one, and I also like this one, but the 2 periods times of writing in them were not the best. This one was 2024, and this was volume 27, and this one was also 24, volume 28. And this one, I had a really big slump of not writing nothing for a very long time. So this was 24 and 25 in this one. And you might be saying you didn't really have a big slump, because I did. I kind of got into this one right after I started this one. Sorry, I kind of spilled my journal. So this one I really did like have a big gap. The gap in this one was basically, let me see how long this gap. I started this December 1st, 2024. I didn't finish this one, but this is one where I kind of got back in motivation just a little bit. So actually, out of all these journals, this one I kind of got back in motivation, just a slight bit, and then my motivation died. So I finished this one in August. I think it was August 15th is when I finished this one. So a lot of these were just like the same period times, not motivated, not whatever. There's nothing more to like tell you one by one when they're very much the same. They're very much what it was. And then after all of these journals, let's put these ones back. Just recently, this month, as we're talking, it is December. So we went from August to December. I completely said I was done. I told my boyfriend, he was kind of upset about it. Like, not too upset, but he's like, that's your life. That's what you do. That's what I know you for. That's what you always talked about. And he knew I was a journaler. He saw all these journals I had. He knew it was something. He said, don't give up something that he knew I had passion for. But at the time, I had no passion. I completely told people I was taking a break. I was stopping. But really, my heart felt like I gave up. I was no more. I couldn't do it. I was so motivated into scrapbooking. I couldn't do both. I was like, I want to do both, but like I'm not motivated. And like journaling just felt like I didn't have a time and place that I was like really in my head anymore. So it was more like happy memories. And for some reason, I just didn't want to write about every memory. I want to live in the moments. But you are living in the moments and writing about it, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just was very, very unmotivated in journaling. So I kind of said, I quit. I'm not doing it anymore. my heart sank. I don't know how many times I would always look at my journal and be like, I wish, but I know my heart's not letting me be right now. I know I couldn't. It's okay to have breaks if you really, really can't. And I never took it as a break. I took it as I actually stopped. But I guess I didn't, because here I am talking about journaling and I'm back, baby. So I started this one. This one says 2025, and I'm going to be starting 2026 in this. This is journal volume 30. I want to show you another journal that's also journal 30. I have actually started this one for December, and this was going to be September's journal number 30. This is the one that made me like quit journaling. I couldn't keep up with it anymore. I only journaled 2 pages in this, and I was like, I'm done. I was trying to force myself to do something I couldn't do anymore. I was like, that's not me. I can't do it. So I gave up. Yes, it still says journal 30, but that's really a garbage journal. I only wrote 2 times in that, and I didn't even write full sentence. It was like maybe like a sentence here and a sentence there, and I was like, nope, I can't do it. So that's why I call this one 30, because this one has more writing, and this is going to be journal 30, like a real journal in here. I started this one on December 1st. So we went from, basically I would say, August all the way up to December. So once we finished August 15th, took a huge break, and then went right back in December. And I'm loving journaling again. I'm having so much fun. I'm like so motivated. Yes, I haven't been as motivated into scrapbooking, but I do make some time here and there to scrapbook. I don't scrapbook every day, but I do scrapbook once in a while whenever I have pictures to scrapbook. But a journal is almost like every day. I'm carrying this around with me. I talk to my boyfriend about this. I literally, like, I love talking to him about like journaling. He's a journaler as well, but his is very different. He likes to do it on his phone, and he likes to do it when he really feels like he needs to journal. He doesn't daily journal like me, and it's fine. I've never gotten into journaling. He actually was already doing that before we even met, and I didn't know. He has like journals from like probably before COVID, and he didn't even know that was a journal. When I talked about my journaling, he told me he didn't journal. I secretly found that, and then he told me, oh yeah, I do write my feelings on my phone. That's journaling. It doesn't matter what kind of journaler you do, that's journaling. He didn't know that was journaling, but that's what he did. And this is what I do. We're pretty much found out we both have something in common. We like to journal, but just in our own ways, and that's fine. There's no right way to journal. You just do whatever feels right for you. And these are all of my journals and my journeys. So anyways, that's all for today's video. I hope you guys liked. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do whatever you like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!